Hello house lovers. The sun is shining in Melbourne again. It really is winter, I promise. But look, enough of that. Come and see what I've been up to. Firstly, a quick detour into the Matthew Lucas Sanitary Wear Emporium. As you can see, ta-da! Everything has gone, and now I have some new treasures to be getting rid of. But all the radiators went, and even the boiler that was on the back wall at the top of the house at the rear has gone as well. So someone has got a brand new heating system. Very happy that that has gone to an unheated home where hopefully someone will be able to enjoy the benefits of our radiators. If not this winter, maybe next. But the most exciting thing I want to show you is in what is going to be our bedroom, and ta-da! Can you see a doorway that wasn't there before? Here we are, another opened aperture. You might remember that this was the site of a wardrobe.
Yes.
That's a corbel, ladies and gentlemen.
Lo and behold, when I look at the stripping you've done here,
Judicious stripping.
very judicious stripping, but what's very impressive is that this whole mantelpiece is made of slate.
Slate. And we had some friends through earlier this week, and they've restored many a house in Sydney where they live, and they had some interesting insights about the cupboard that used to be in this corner. House lovers, a quick interlude. We are in the room with this slate mantelpiece. Now, I've been starting to remove the built-in cupboard that was here, and as you can see, it was building in the doorway that goes through to what was the kitchen next door. Now, looking at this cupboard, the doors are cedar, quite heavy, and they're fielded at the back, so these are early doors, and yet this doorway had been filled in obviously relatively recently because the framework has been made to fit using MDF, a puzzle. Now, the puzzle was revealed to all by some friends who had run the gauntlet of Border Patrol and driven down from Sydney and wanted to have a look at the house and pointed out, do you not think, Matthew, that this cupboard were on the other side of the chimney? Ta-da! So this was where there was a built-in kitchen, and if we look closer, we can see that the cement skirting boards here were never finished. You see this line here, which runs along the floor, which, if we measure, is exactly the same width as this timber to here. So there we go. This cupboard used to sit on that side of the mantelpiece, and as this is the dining room, that was essentially the china and glassware cupboard. Isn't that fantastic? Thanks, Peter and Rob, for your insights. They are house renovators par excellence from New South Wales, and their house in Sydney is something else. So there you go. The benefit of having friends with benefits who know what they're talking about, who have experience with such houses. So I discovered that the cupboard that used to be here was in fact the china and glass cupboard on that side of the mantelpiece in our old dining room, and that these doors are in fact original to the house, 1874, colonial cedar, which I will lovingly strip with a heat gun, and we'll find somewhere else to use them in the house. So what I can do now, just because I can, is do a whole circuit of the ground floor, going through, ta-da! Very exciting. I don't know why it's given me such childish pleasure, but I think unblocking a door that's been blocked forever is quite satisfying. It's kind of like a childhood dream, you know, you think you'll find something magical behind. I didn't. But what I have been doing is being quite busy in the Chappelle Corby Memorial Courtyard. This is one of the outside rooms which you might remember. This was the room that had the Thai Indian fabric hanging in the window there, which, as you can see, I saved. And along with the fabric in George's room, I'm going to go and take to an artist and see what magic she can weave. That will be another episode. But what I wanted to show you was the back wall. Well, at the moment, it looks like the cellar in Ekaterinburg where the Tsar and his family were shot, I have to say. But what is most interesting is that it reveals a lot about the history of the house. So this room runs along the side of the house, sharing a boundary with the neighbours on that side. And this room here is the room which had that piece of rotten flooring. Do you remember? And having discovered on an old sewage plan of the city, which I'll try and show you here, you can see that the area is marked bathroom. So this spot that we're in right now was a bathroom. Now, there was always a doorway coming through the back of the original house into this room. So what I discovered in taking off the lining of the walls is that this, friends, is brick and masonry. It's incredibly well built and quite solid. Which brings me to the notion of engineering. Now, the reason why I have been exposing this wall is that we need to get the engineer in to have a look at that wall, to check the foundations and to see how secure it is. Because above us, subject to council approval, is going to go our kitchen. Now, what we want to do is to be able to retain the original wall along the boundary here, as it's double brick on bluestone footing. So it should be quite well built. We can't see it from that side because there's a neighbouring house. We couldn't see it on this side because of all these built-in paneling pieces here. But what I've been able to do is to rip that off with my bare hands, as you can see. Very noisy helicopter up there. I think obviously someone's been very bad and is being chased. Now, million-dollar question, you know that I love urban archaeology. What did I discover when ripping out this kitchen? The first thing I discovered was that it was gross and there was a lot of mold and gunk and vile things under there. So very concerned about the health of the people who were living in here anyway, inhaling all those mold spores. But I did find something charming. This 70s picture, and it kind of looks a little bit like Twiggy in The Boyfriend. Anyway, there we are, house lovers. The doorway is opened. I wonder when it was sealed up. How magic. And next week, we have a very special guest. We have gone on a field trip. I shan't tell you anything except it's wonderful. And it's all about blending styles. As you know, the good doctor is a modern minimalist, and I'm not. So house lovers, thank you very much for watching. You know you want to subscribe and press like and tell your friends and share me with the world. And after you've done that, have a great week. I hope things are working out for you well as all the roller doors are coming back up on life. Thank you so much for watching and being engaged in the epic story of Bon Accord and my life of pulling out old sinks. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week.